The city never slept, at least not truly. Behind the fluorescent glow of office towers, in forgotten corridors of government buildings, and under the hum of streetlights, secrets thrived. Some were trivial. Others were deadly. And some, like the folder stamped unimportant, were lethal. Railey Vaughn, an investigative journalist with a reputation for chasing stories no one else dared, had a sixth sense for danger. She had survived threats, intimidation, and the occasional smear campaign. But when the envelope marked unimportant landed on her desk, dripping from the rain outside, she knew this story was unlike anything she had ever encountered. Inside were dozens of yellowed folders, photographs of missing women, police memos, hand-scrawled notes, and cryptic symbols that seemed innocuous at first but whispered a dark pattern to those who could read it. A map began to emerge, a network of disappearances spanning decades, always neatly dismissed by authorities. Unimportant. The same word stamped over every case file. Railey spent nights poring over the documents, connecting names and dates. She noticed the recurring symbol of a triangle in red ink on certain files, a mark she had seen once before on a case buried years earlier. It belonged to Argentum, a shadowy private security firm contracted to manage sensitive matters for the city. And she knew what that meant. Murder disguised as accidents, disappearances hidden under bureaucracy, and a network powerful enough to make anyone vanish without a trace. Her apartment had become a shrine to paper and photographs, maps sprawled across tables, walls plastered with timelines and names. The rain pounded against the windows, matching the beat of her racing heart. That's when the first warning arrived, a single line typed into her email. "Stop digging, or you'll be next. The file isn't meant for anyone to see." Railey stared at the message. It wasn't a threat. It was a declaration. Someone had been watching her. And they had made a decision. Railey exhaled slowly and closed the laptop. Fear tried to rise, sharp and instinctive, but she forced it down. She had spent too many years watching powerful people bury the truth behind silence and paperwork. She had seen what fear did to good stories. It killed them before they ever breathed. Railey didn't flinch. If they were willing to erase lives to protect the file, then she would make sure it erased them instead. She wasn't backing down. She was digging deeper. 2 nights later, Railey walked home from a late-night archive run. The streets were quiet. Too quiet. As she rounded a corner, a delivery truck lurched into the intersection. A man jumped from the passenger seat, knife in hand. His movements were practiced, professional. Railey froze. Her instincts kicked in. She darted into a narrow alleyway, the knife slicing through the air behind her. Trash bins toppled, creating obstacles. She vaulted over a dumpster, felt the blade graze the back of her coat. The alley spit her out onto a side street, where the neon lights illuminated a fire escape. Without hesitation, she scaled it, feet hitting metal with precision, heart hammering. The assassin tried to follow, but Railey's knowledge of the city's rooftops gave her an advantage. She leapt from one roof to another, ducking behind HVAC units, finally slipping into an abandoned loft and disappearing. By the time the man realized she was gone, she was already gone into the night, alive but shaken. Railey knew one thing: this wasn't a random attack. This was the first warning shot. More would come. The next morning, Railey returned to her apartment. She had fortified it as best she could, installed cameras, and even rigged simple alarms. But Argentum's reach was long, and their resources were nearly unlimited. A knock at the door. Slow, deliberate. She peered through the peephole. Nothing. But when she opened the door slightly, a van slammed into her building from the street. The impact shattered the front windows. Shards of glass cut into her hands as she dove for cover. From the debris, a man emerged, wearing a suit, carrying a concealed firearm. His approach was calm, measured, practiced. Railey ducked under the shattered doorframe and ran toward the fire escape, but he was faster this time, firing rounds at the concrete in front of her, forcing her to leap sideways. She vaulted onto a neighboring balcony, tore down a chain-link fence, and sprinted across rooftops again. This time, she used the storm to her advantage. Rain masked her movement. Thunder drowned the noise of pursuit. Finally, she disappeared into the underground parking garage of an abandoned office building, blending into shadows. Railey realized something crucial: Argentum didn't just want to silence her. They wanted to make it look like an accident. A car crash, a fall, a mishap. Her life was expendable in their meticulous plans. By the third day, Railey had anticipated their moves. She moved constantly, slept in short bursts, and never returned to the same place twice. But Argentum wasn't just tracking her, they were predicting her. While walking to a late-night printing press to make copies of the files, she noticed a black sedan tailing her from the shadows. She darted into a narrow tunnel leading to the subway system. The sedan followed, but when it entered the tunnel, it triggered a concealed spike trap she had noticed from past investigations into city infrastructure, a trap left from old construction equipment. The tires shredded, and the sedan screeched to a halt. Railey sprinted onto a maintenance ladder and climbed into a service corridor, navigating a maze of dimly lit shafts and pipes. The third assassin, frustrated, tried to follow but was delayed by the narrow passageways. By the time he emerged from the maze, Railey was gone again, now closer to her target, the heart of the conspiracy. Railey knew she couldn't run forever. The truth had to be exposed. She tracked the files to the abandoned building referenced in multiple folders, a decrepit office structure in the oldest part of the city. It had once been a warehouse, condemned but left standing, forgotten by the public eye. Inside, the air was thick with mildew. Dust coated everything. She followed a hidden stairwell leading to the basement, where she found cabinets upon cabinets filled with unimportant files. It was a tomb of decades of crimes, unreported murders, missing women, bribed officials, and evidence of Argentum's operatives ensuring every case vanished from public record. Among the folders, Railey discovered the original blueprint for Argentum's operations. Names, dates, methods of accidental killings, everything meticulously documented. The scope was horrifying. Argentum hadn't just hidden crimes, they had orchestrated a system of disappearance, of erasure. A sound behind her made her freeze. Footsteps. She spun. A man stepped from the shadows, a senior operative, cold and silent. Looking for this? He gestured to the files. You're not going to get away with this, Railey said, backing up slowly. I already have, he said calmly. And you will be next, if you don't leave the files where they belong. Railey acted quickly. She grabbed the microfilm she had copied earlier and ran, using every shortcut she had memorized from her rooftop and alleyway escapes. Rain-slicked streets, narrow tunnels, and abandoned warehouses became her allies. The assassin chased, relentless, but Railey used the city itself as a weapon, street markets, dumpsters, scaffolding, to slow him down. Finally, she reached the steps of a subway platform. She slipped between the closing doors of a train just as he lunged. The doors slammed shut, cutting off her pursuer. She exhaled, heart-hammering, and realized she had survived. Railey coordinated with trusted media contacts and digital security experts. She leaked the files, photographs, and documents in a secure, encrypted manner to multiple outlets. Within hours, the story went viral. The file marked unimportant. A system of erasure exposed. Politicians scrambled to respond. Police investigations reopened. Argentum's network began to unravel. Officials who had once labeled crimes unimportant were arrested. Families of the missing finally received closure, years or decades too late. Railey watched the coverage, exhausted but triumphant. Her life would never be the same. She had made herself a target, but she had also shattered a system built on fear and secrecy. Months later, the city was still healing. The public demanded transparency, and the surviving members of Argentum were under investigation. Railey kept a low profile, moving between safe houses and remote locations. The folder marked unimportant sat now in a secure vault she controlled. Every page, every photograph, a testament to the lives erased and the truth restored. And though the danger had not entirely passed, Railey felt something she hadn't in years: hope. Some files are buried for a reason. But some truths demand to be uncovered, no matter the cost. And for Riley Vaughn, the cost had been high, but the world now knew.